Good afternoon. My name is Heather Jenkins. I'm a dream crusher. I'm 46 years old, and as of last week, I have $104,060.89 in student loan debt and no retirement. Here's my story. It's June 2010. I just heard from Andre. He's on the bus with $1,000 in cash heading to his high school. His family collected 5s, 10s, 20s, whatever folks could spare. We need to get his transcripts sent to the colleges. I called his school, an elite, private, predominantly white school, probably about 10 times, and no one would release the transcripts because of the financial hold on his account. Andre has a deep desire to be the first in his family to attend and graduate from college. His cousins, nieces, nephews all look up to him. He's the only male in his family who has not been incarcerated. It's late July. Andre is accepted into the University at Buffalo. We feel joy, pride, and possibility. He brings me the documents. I start reading, and a sickly feeling starts in my stomach and lands in my throat. Tuition and fees are $6,935. Andre's family income is about $7,500 annually, and that's a mix of low-wage pay and public assistance. He missed all of the financial aid deadlines. Andre will not be attending school in the fall. I helped Andre with his essay, with his SAT prep, with his applications, and I took him on college tours. I helped him with his FAFSA, but I didn't help him understand what it means to afford a 4-year degree during that time or overtime. I told him that he should attend a 4-year college. I supported his deep desire to do this. And then I said, Andre, you cannot realistically afford to attend the University at Buffalo right now. I'm so sorry. I guess I'm both a dream builder and a dream crusher. Many years before meeting Andre and the other amazing students that I've worked with, I was a college student myself back in the early 90s, and I was racking up massive debt unknowingly. Managing the psychological impact of my racial identity as a biracial young woman in a black-white binary world, and being unprepared for the rigors of the University of Rochester really took up all of my emotional strength and energy. You've heard stories like that here today. It is definitely a thing. 5 years of self-doubt and struggle to graduate. The GPA was substandard, as was the overall experience. And then I get the bill. I start paying and paying and paying. It's 1999. I'm the parent of 2 amazing daughters. But there's no way to pay the student loan bill anymore. Deferment becomes my salvation, so I think. Once I get back to work when the girls go to school, I'll pay this off, so I think. It's 2001. Segregation and educational inequities in Buffalo, New York are vast and deep. Wanting the very best for my daughters, I work 60 hours a week to send them to private school for the next several years. They'll get great offers for scholarship and financial aid from the colleges, and all of this will even out, so I think. I have supportive professors in my master's program who encourage me to go on for my doctorate. These degrees will position me to be financially secure down the road, so I think. I commit myself to educational equity and nonprofit work. And I commit myself to paying $26,000 per year, that's just tuition and fees, for 2 daughters in elite private colleges over a course of 5 years. It's 2013. I don't qualify for income-driven repayment options because those options only consider my income and don't factor in the realities of my financial life. I cannot afford to pay my now staggering student loan debt. I plead my case to Sallie Mae and the other institutions governing my loan. I'm a single mom. I'm trying to do the best I can to provide for my daughters. I'm trying to use my privilege to support and advocate for my students and their families. Isn't that worth something? I'm sorry, ma'am. If you can't pay the $970 per month, you'll have to put your loans into forbearance. I'm sorry that no one informed you that you were eligible for loan forgiveness before we encouraged you to consolidate your loans 3 years ago. But there's nothing I can do about that now. Do you want to proceed with a forbearance, ma'am? For those of you who may not be familiar, forbearance means I'm not making payments on my loan and interest is accruing on those loans for 12 months, right? So let me paint the picture. The powers that be will not let me make a payment that I can actually afford. They force me into forbearance. So what happens is interest accrues during this time. So at the end of the 12 months, what happens? The payment is even higher than it was before. I ask again to pay an amount that I can afford. I am again denied, and the loans go into forbearance again. I feel comfortable saying that this system is designed to maintain student loan debt, not reduce it. This system is designed to be inequitable. This system is designed to maintain and exacerbate income and wealth inequality. It makes me think that scholar Gloria Ladson-Billings was in some ways talking about actual student financial debt when she coined the term education debt, which she uses to refer to the debt of social and academic capital owed to those who have been historically marginalized in and through our systems of education for hundreds of years. So it's important to take a moment here and address the complexities of my identity. I am clearly not Andre. I didn't grow up in a low-income Black community. I benefit from the white privilege that I've inherited from my mother. And although she didn't go to college, she had access to knowledge that came from her role as the nanny for an affluent, influential family during high school. Have y'all heard of Kellogg Foods? Kellogg cereal? Yeah, that's the family we're talking about. So she watched as they prepped their children and sent them to private schools. And years later, she took me to test into these private schools as well. I also benefit from white privilege in the way that I am viewed. I don't really think of you as Black. I cannot count the number of times that someone white has said this to me, meaning it as a compliment. I am closer to whiteness, and therefore, I am more acceptable in some ways, while still being Black enough to be the quintessential Black friend. Because of all of this, and yes, my own hard work, I have advanced degrees. I have work that I love, and I make a good living. But I don't have family wealth or my own assets. So that, coupled with my debt and my commitment to keeping my daughters out of debt, means I live check to check. I'm the living legacy of an unequal and inequitable system that has been playing out for centuries in this country. It's 2018. My name is Heather Jenkins. I'm a dream crusher. I'm 46 years old, and as of last week, I have $104,060.89 in student loan debt and no retirement. I have a growing fear that systemic inequity will continue to exacerbate the student debt crisis and what Ladson-Billings refers to as the education debt for decades to come. My hope is that many of us will come to understand that we must work across difference and across fields to dismantle the systemic inequities that have riddled our society from its very inception. My hope is that many of us will come to understand that we have an ethical obligation to examine and analyze our practices and commit to unlearning and undoing that which maintains the status quo. This is not easy, but it is possible. Andre did attend the University at Buffalo in 2012, and somehow I have managed to keep my daughters out of debt. What's next? Thank you.